Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Pathfinder Kingmaker. I am Ryan, also known as thelovebat, and we are here once again, and we are in the depths of this big tree called Old Sycamore. And for the most part, things have gone decently well, despite us taking lots of bruises and scrapes and lots of acid to the face. And last time we had to go through a couple of combats more than once because some of the fights were either just too tough or things just kind of snowballed out of our favor, because that's kind of what happens in low-level RPG play sometimes. If your tank, like Valerie in our case, ends up going down, then sometimes the fight is made a whole lot tougher and it can just snowball out of control. So some of the fights that we had last time, we had to redo a little bit, but we were able to take care of all of those sort of dastardly little centipedes that we had to deal with in Old Sycamore. We dealt with a lot of them. We dealt with like a boss-type centipede, a gigantic one. I don't know if it's like a king or queen or whatever it is of a centipede colony, but we dealt with it, and then we ended up finding some different remains and loot and such, of which we have quite a bit now. Obviously, we're overloaded, but we can offload some of the things before we leave for the world map again sometime soon. But we got these mandibles of a huge spider, which we needed to go ahead and get for the Might Gatekeeper on one of the upper levels of Old Sycamore, inside of Old Sycamore here. And so we're going to go ahead and eventually return that. I think we've explored most of what we can explore down here. We found quite a bit of sorts of coinage here with these ancient coins and different sort of some remnants of some artifacts, as well as some dryad tokens. And just mainly, though, we've just found lots of centipedes to fight. Haven't really encountered any kobolds yet because we're not on their side of the Old Sycamore Depths, but I'm sure that we soon will find some of them. And so for the most part, we have gotten some loot here. Amulet of Natural Armor, I believe we got last session, I think. And we just got some general goodies for the most part. We found some scrolls, different things, but for the most part, things I would say are going smoothly. It's honestly just a matter of we just need to level up a bit more, and eventually we need to rest off some of this ability score damage that we sustained as a result of the centipede fights. Not too bad right now. We're mostly not impacted by that just yet. But hopefully we can rest that off in the future and get rid of that. Okay, and this leads, I guess, further into the Old Sycamore Caves. That's what most of these things do. We could go outside to go ahead and rest, but I think that maybe if Valerie is still in good shape, we can just keep going. We're level 3 now, and if we need any help, we do have, I guess, a couple of resources here that could help us, but not too much, but we could use that or potions to aid us in combat if we need any extra oomph. So let's go down here and see what we find. Looks like there's a barbarian here, Armagh, that's giving you some information on. Some of this info down here is some interesting, nice flavor text, which may not really be relevant to you early in the game, but maybe later on some of the things that it says down here may come up for you at some point. But there is some flavor text down here, background information. Occasionally it'll give you some information on controls and stuff. Alright, so it looks like this little entrance leads back to the Might Hall over here. And yeah, so I remember last session we also weren't able to defeat some skeletons. There were a few skeleton mobs that had we been at full power and maybe a level or two higher, then we might have been able to defeat them. But for now, We might have to come back to them later, then eventually fight them. I believe that this is where the Gate Master was at, somewhere up here. So we need to talk to them and return these spider mandibles to them that, as referenced by some of the other mites that we talked to, is sort of a, I guess, heroic mite riding a spider mount, and they died heroically down there. Alright, so let's give it a quick save before talking to our friend here. Daisy, come, good girl. The gatekeeper notices you and her face lights up. She turns away from her pet centipede. Greeting, ally! You come! Warrior Queen Bada awaits you. The gatekeeper sighs in delight. Queen Beauty as little centipede. Well, here are the mandibles you asked for. All good! I make fine helmet. Take Lever Bridge, brave ally. I say no one. You take treasure. Okay then. So I guess they don't mind what we find across the bridge, or if we get the relic and find access to the Great Hall. And we also get 180 experience points out of that, so if we were close to leveling, that would have gotten us another level probably for all of our characters. But we leveled up last session, so we don't have to worry about that for now, but that's a good amount of experience points for doing that. Of course, the other way of perhaps solving that might have been able to side with no one or side with the kobolds, and then you basically just kill them and get the bridge lever that way, maybe. But obviously, we chose not to. We chose to go the route of that we felt might be the least bloodshed. I think down here's eventually where we're supposed to find the bridge and then use the bridge lever to lower it. There it is. Let's save up and see what we find across the bridge here. And I guess we gained some experience for being able to deal with the bridge as well. Oh, a great sword. A shame that we don't really have anyone that can use it, but it's nice to have. I suppose that Amiri would probably use it if she didn't already have this really big sword, which I guess we haven't really looked at yet. But yeah, basically Amiri's oversized sword has the oversized trait, and basically it's exceptionally large and deals more damage, but attacks if it suffer a penalty of -2 to attack rolls. So unless her strength is super high and you get lots of hit bonuses with her, it's a lot harder for her to, excuse me, to be able to connect. But even though it's harder to connect, she does do a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20, so it can do some really nice damage if you can get a critical hit with it, because it means that, well, it does a lot of damage when equipped. I mean, look at that, 10 to 24 damage. And then if you have like cleave and power attack and things like that going, you can potentially do a whole lot of damage with her. So, but yeah, the great sword would be great if you had a main character that used strength, but we are a dexterity character and no one else is really fit to wield the great sword. So, unfortunately, that might just be something that we go ahead and sell. Let's look around here, see if we find anything else in the room. Alright, we got a fragment of a necklace, so we got another one there, which I think adds up to about... Yeah, so we have 4 fragments already. I don't know if that's enough to restore this necklace or not, but we're probably getting pretty close, considering that we already have 4 of them. I hope that will be a really nice necklace, too. It'd be kind of like a free item for most people since it's not a weapon or armor or anything. So what's this thing right here? What's in our way? Is there a way to interact with this or to take it down? No, I guess they barricaded it, and maybe the treasure over here is the reason that we can get the bridge lowered and then we get the treasure from here, like the sword and the necklace fragment. So I don't know, I guess maybe that was the reward for completing the quest, is getting the necklace fragment and the sword. I was assuming that we'd be able to go over here and do some of this stuff. I guess we have to go over to the maybe we have to go over to the kobold side to unlock that gateway there. Alright, well, I mean, somewhat disappointing. I guess I just kind of misremembered. I thought we'd be able to go there between the kobold and might encampments, I guess, using the bridge, but I guess we'll have to do that later. So what other passages? We can go that way, which is where we originally went. We can go outside. I don't know if we have to defeat the skeleton mobs to get to where we need to go, if we need to go to the kobold side of the cave. But we'll go down here again and see if we can find a way over to the kobolds. And if we have to fight the skeletons, maybe I'll give it one more go, otherwise I might just rest to get as many resources back as we can to try and deal with those fights. And also, I just want to go ahead and wish everyone, before I get too far into the video here, I want to go ahead and wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. That will be coming up tomorrow. I'm recording this on Wednesday, and so by the time I upload it, it might already be Thanksgiving. Or by the time everyone sees it, it might already be Thanksgiving as well. But basically, I just hope that everyone has a very wonderful Thanksgiving, and that you can all enjoy that time together with your loved ones, or just your friends, or hanging out with people online due to COVID and all that kind of stuff. But I think that I'm hoping it'll be a very, very good time for everyone this year, despite how COVID has kind of wrecked social gatherings and things like that. But I hope that everyone's able to enjoy it, and even if it's just watching my Let's Play as a way to, you know, grab your leftover Thanksgiving dinner and then watch some video games, and, you know, whatever makes you happy, right? So, anyway, let's go ahead and take care of all of this. And got some skeletons over here. Again, I don't know if we're going to be able to take them on or not, but we do have Smite Evil to help us. And then we have one Jolt of Inspire Courage here. Let's go ahead and get you with your quarterstaff, and then we'll switch Harim here to a blunt option with the club. And then I guess we need to also switch her to a blunt option. I guess we'll go ahead and give the club to Valerie here. Let's just do this. There we go. Give Valerie the club, and then we'll go ahead and give the flail to Harim. So you've got your quarterstaff to whack him. I don't think there's any blunt ranged options or any blunt finesse options. I guess you can go ahead and use your Smite Evil to get through with some attacks against one of these guys, and then we'll just do the best that we can. Don't know if there's any scrolls here that could help us. Enlarge person, maybe. No, I wouldn't really want to use scrolls on this fight, though. Might want to save those for something a bit more important. Alright, so I guess we'll go ahead and save it now. Hold everyone except for Valerie here. Have you hold. Alright, so Alyrra, you're going to use Smite Evil. We want to take him down as soon as possible. I want you to inspire Courage. And then we're going to wait for the last possible moment. Alright, now you're going to go do that. Alyrra, you're going to wait. I guess Harim, you're also going to wait. Alright, come on, you can do it. There's the Inspired Courage. Okay. Alright, so let's get in there against the Skeletal Champion now. And Harim, you go after that one. Try and stop him from getting in there. And you just keep plucking away. Yeah, so Mary, you're not going to look very good. Considering these other skeletons that are coming in, they're probably going to hit. Oh, I think we already... Did we already kill the Skeletal Champion here? We did. So we were able to get in there with a couple of attacks, and we were able to take care of the Skeletal Champion right at the start. Okay, so it's just 2 more to go. I think if we can take down these 2 Skeletal Champions, then we might have a chance. I think the Skeletal Champion is going after Valerie, so I think we might want to go after the characters who are going after Amiri here. So let's go after this skeleton first and try and keep Amiri going. Now let's go after this one. Again, we want to try and keep Amiri going. Alright, well Amiri just got taken out, but hopefully we can take out the smaller skeletons and make things a bit easier on us. With not as many attacks going around. Hopefully we might be able to get through with some critical hits on these other skeletons, skeleton champions. Just gonna have to rely a lot on Valerie tanking these attacks. I guess Harim has a decent AC, but he might end up getting hit here at some point. Just trying to have them hold the line here. Let's get in there and get the skeleton. Yep, this is low-level combat sometimes. You're just missing and missing and you're missing again, so... Alright, Harim goes down to the Skeletal Champion. He's going back here to try and deal with us. So it's time for us to get out of there. Come on, come on. Let's have Lindsay split off and go this way, so that we have to choose between the two. Alright, it's choosing Lindsay. Let's have you continue to attack the skeleton over there. Isn't much that Lindsay can do here. I'm just going to have her go over here. I don't know if I can do like trickery or stealth or anything to try and get out of here. I forget what the hotkey is for stealth. Let me double check here. I know that trickery has a hotkey, or it might be somewhere. Oh, there it is. Let's try and hide in shadows here. I don't know if I can do that in combat. Yeah, Lindsay's not looking good. Neither are these other characters, to be fair. Because Valerie is not really doing much to hit anybody right now. Yeah, we might need to do a rest, so that way we can actually go against these guys while we're at full power. I don't have any idea how the skeleton runs so fast, but I don't know, maybe it's because it's not using a shield, I have no idea. Yeah, this has kind of gone haywire here, so I think we're going to have to go ahead and rest and try and go at them with a bit more strength, because we don't have any of our spells, we don't have much of our abilities left, so it just may not be possible for us to win this fight. Alright, so class, let's see, what do I have here? So we have the fatigue to mercy, so that'll help at some point. So, yeah, we don't get another Smite Evil use until later, so we're still limited to one Smite Evil, but that's okay. So I think we're going to have to abandon this plan for now and go back to using the weapons that we were using before. Where's the Masterwork Bastard Sword, and then Areem, you can... I don't know if we want to use a club or not. We'll just go with the long sword. And then we'll switch you to your bow, probably. Alrighty then. So where do we go then? We already went down here. Is there some place over here that we can go to? No, that's a dead end. So there's skeletons up here on the map, and then there's some skeletons down here. I don't know, is there some place over here that we didn't explore yet? I don't know, let's go over there in case I forgot something. What am I doing? What? How did we initiate combat? I have no idea. Okay, well, I'll reload it there because I don't want to get into combat with those skeletons yet. So, I have no idea what my characters were doing. Maybe they thought the fastest route was going through where the skeletons were. But let's just get out of here. Not worry about triggering the skeletons just yet. And re-equip our weapons. There we go. I think we want to go over here towards the map. We could try to fight those wargs or whatever that are on the surface, but that might also be a bit of a tough fight. I mean, we have a use of Smite Evil, and the Warg, I believe, is evil. So, maybe Smite Evil, we could Smite Evil the Warg up here, and then try and just have Valerie hang in there as much as possible. Don't think... I mean, we could also go into the kobold side of the cave as well. Yeah, I think that we've explored mostly everything up here. I don't know if there's anything up in this particular area. If there's like anything that we can climb to get up there somehow. But I know that if we, I guess there's mobility to climb this hill here. So I guess we could guidance on you. I think you're the best with mobility. Though if you're dexterity damage, it might end up being Alyrra here, so I'll do it with her too. Can we try and climb it down to see if we can get anything here? Alright, so I guess maybe we won't be able to get more experience points for that. Sometimes you can do it going up or down, or basically going back and forth to try and get the experience points for both of those skill checks instead of just one. So here's Garuk again, and if I remember correctly, they are going to try and flank us and surround us. So let's get back here a little bit. We'll just do a quick save here because I don't know if we're gonna be able to invest too much into a fight here. Let's do some of this action. And then we'll go ahead and get some temporary hit points going here. But we're going to need them too. Alright, we'll just, I guess, do a quick save here since we have these spells up, which should be able to last for the fight. Or at least the majority of it. Alright, let's go in there with Valerie. Your words will not save you, you monster. We're going to have another go at it now that we're level 3 instead of level 2. And yes, as she said before, we cannot leave such dangerous animals to live in our future lands. Slay the beast! And we shall. Good. I love fresh meat. Yep, and as usual, these are very dexterous, or at least Garruk is. And then there's, I believe, going to be some wolves that are coming out to try and flank us at some point here. Let's turn off power attack, since you're just going to be using your bow for now. Maybe we might switch you to some other things later. And you are going to smite evil on Garruk. So let's get you guys in a little bit closer. Damn. They took Valerie out very quickly. I don't know how they got all those opportunity attacks in. Did they do something? I don't know, I guess maybe tripping her triggered opportunity attacks or something like that? I don't know, but even getting all those opportunity attacks, it's kind of hard to be able to take her down. Alright, so we'll reload it. We'll give it another whirl. Maybe we might have a bit more luck early on in the fight than we had there. Because Valerie should usually hold up a little bit better than that, even with all those flanking bonuses and things that they have. Her AC of 32 would still be very hard to hit. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and slay the beast once again. You're going to get in there. Let's move everyone up a little bit. You are not going to cleave or power attack. Lindsay, I want you to get in close enough to where you can help out with your Inspire Courage. And Alyrra, you're going to need to be able to get in close enough so that way you can use your Smite Evil on Garruk. Okay, and now we're going to Inspire Courage here. Let's have you go ahead and do some True Strike action so you can hit Garruk. Amiri, we want you going after Garruk. All of you are going to go after Garruk. We need to take her out as soon as possible. Or him, her. I think it's a him that we found out previously. So Garruk is a dude, I believe. The sort of alpha male pack leader. Alright, let's take him out as soon as possible here. Plus 18 modifiers, how did that happen? Huh, interesting. I don't know, maybe a potion of Shield of Faith might be able to help out a little bit on this kind of encounter. Alright, Amiri, time for you to switch to power attack mode here. Let's see if we can take care of these fools. Lindsay, you just try and get away. Alyrra, you might also have to do the same. I don't know what Garuk's doing, but I don't like it. I think maybe they're trying to get back to the backliners here. I think maybe. Okay. Nope, you're just going to hold position here. And all of you are going to try and take out that wolf right there. Alright, so all of you, since Garuk is trying to get to the backliners but isn't able to because her wolf companions are in the way, thankfully we're not going to have to worry about that right now. So you stop fighting defensively, and we're going to have you guys just try and attack him with bows to get Garuk here. Okay, and then we're just going to hold position here as much as possible. Try and attack here when they come back around. Alright, they're almost down. If we can get Garuk down, then I think that we'll have won. Valerie is very close to death, but I think that we can still do it. Let's go ahead and use a potion, just to be sure. Alright, 6 hit points. I think we might just have her use another potion here. We're not really worried about her attacking. We just need her to hold the line here. Alright. Alright, those potions should be good enough, I hope. And we got him. Harim, somehow you got in there with... Yep, somehow Harim was able to get in there and was able to kill Garuk, the pack leader, alpha male. Unfortunately, Lindsay's Arcana check was very poor, so we didn't really learn much about Garuk. But we were able to at least defeat Garuk, so that will definitely be a victory for us. Barring like a bunch of natural 20s against Valerie, I think we've got the fight won now. Yes, it was a very close fight, but thankfully Valerie was able to hang in there just long enough for the back line to kind of pick apart the rest of the wolves, and Harim was able to hold it up just enough with the wolves that split off from the pack. And we also kind of lucked out there with the wolves kind of cutting off Garuk's pathfinding there. But, I mean, I don't know. The wolves could have and should have split off to allow Garruk to get through, but if Alyrra is going to hold it there, then that's what they were going to do, so. Alrighty then. So with a bit of luck on our side, we were able to win that fight. And let's go ahead and give a bit of guidance to Miri here, as I'm sure they're going to try and skin some of these wolf hides. And we got one of them. Failed miserably on the other one. Okay. Let's give her some guidance once again. And then go after these. And we get all three of them. Excellent. So let's check out what we got here. We got, what was it? I think a warg pelt. So we got a warg pelt worth 30 gold from Garruk. And then there's an amulet or a necklace or something up here that we got from them as well. An amulet of mighty fists. So if we have a monk or someone that does unarmed damage or uses a natural weapon, then I guess we'll be able to go ahead and do that with an amulet of natural fists. So I don't know if we're going to do that with Alyrra at all, or if we're going to just use fists, or if we're just going to go ahead and use weapons. But yep, hopefully things will be in our favor at some point with some good gear like that. Still not sure if I'm going to have her punching people or if I'm going to go fully down just the weapon finesse route like we've done a little bit with our feat selection. Looks like this might be something to open, so we're going to just guidance on Lindsay here and do a quick save. See if we can lockpick this thing. Oh, I guess it doesn't. But we do find some more loot and treasure in there. I guess we didn't bother going all the way up here after first encountering the warg and their wolf pack there. And it looks like these bones are their recent meals, I guess. And now that we've defeated the warg, we can go back down to the mites and the kobolds that were down in the southern portion of the map and complete that quest. I don't think that we're strong enough to be able to deal with the shambling mound. Looks pretty tough, so I'm not going to bother trying to fight that still. Maybe if I gain one more level, I might consider it. But now we've got to go down here, way down on the map, and talk to the kobolds and stuff that are down here. Yeah, they're down here by the water. And some of the old bones of corpses and things of battles past are still lying around up here a little bit. Aha, here we are. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to these folks over here. Alright. Welcome, Peace Zone. Here no war, no one attack. Only maybe Fat Wolf Lord. He want to chew us, we more sly. Who kill him? Big reward. Well, we've dealt with your wolf leader, so let's see what this big reward is. Hooray! Great new! Might and kobold keep live together. No threat. Good for you. Maybe you grow up big hunter like us. Saying this, he gives you a small purse with 283 gold coins. That's quite substantial, actually, for a reward that we didn't really think they were going to get much of a reward for. So we get a bunch of experience points for killing the warg and doing the quest, and then we get a nice sum of money there. So, as Benjamin Franklin would say, a gold piece saved is a gold piece earned. And now, I don't know if we just want to go ahead and rest, I guess, and try and gain back all of our stuff. Maybe we can go back in and try and fight the skeletons if we have a bit more resources on our side to fight them. Alright, let's go ahead and make camp up here. Get everyone in position here. Do a bit of a quick save before resting, just in case if we come across a random encounter while we're trying to rest, and if things end up going poorly, then maybe we can at least reload our save if we have to, and just in case we have to, because you might die during a random encounter from sleeping, because people who wear heavy armor like Valerie and Harim aren't going to be able to wear that armor during a rest. Okay then. So like I said, sometimes you will be attacked during a rest, so you have to be able to deal with some of these things that'll try and come up and eat you alive. Alright. I assume that we'll be able to skin this lizard, so let's just go ahead and do a quick save here. And we are able to skin it. Excellent. Worth only 8 gold, but every little bit helps. There we go. Let's try and continue resting here.
You have such a huge sword. How is it that you don't tire of swinging it, Mary?
You have such a busy tongue. How is it that you don't tire of wagging it? Hey, Harem?
Yeah. Huh. Well, indeed, he does have a bit of a busy tongue here, and he likes to talk about his god that constantly wants to bring about the end of times. So he's just kind of, I guess, calling him out on just running his mouth quite a bit about his god, I guess. Alrighty then, so we don't have too much as far as extra health gained, but we do have our restorative abilities here that are restored, so we can go ahead and see if we can go ahead and deal with that a little bit. And we've had some of our dexterity damage taken away, which is quite nice. The rest did take a bit of time there, but I mean, it was probably bound to happen at some point. Don't know if we need to go down the kobold route yet or not. Let's go ahead and take those things off. Take that off. Eventually we might want to prepare different spells for Harem here, but some of these spells they have to, I think, prepare because of their domain. Let's go to a spell book. So either True Strike or Protection from Law has to be prepared because of their domain. So Chaos Domain and Destruction Domain. So Protection from Law is not likely to ever help us because we're usually going to be fighting either evil enemies or monstrous type enemies, and occasionally we might fight like beasts and things like that, which are like true neutral, or we might be fighting like chaotic evil, like kobolds and monsters and stuff like that. And then like evil aligned humanoid enemies. But Protection from Law is not likely to come up at all. Lawful Evil, I'm not sure how often that's a common enemy to fight in this game. But usually Protection from Evil would be much better, or Protection from Chaos, perhaps. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other spells that you want to replace Bane with, perhaps. I don't know, Shield of Faith probably is the best option of Shield of Faith, maybe Remove Fear. But Lindsay does have Remove Fear already. And just to make sure that, I'm not sure if I'm really going to use Bane, so we'll just remove that. Even though I just rested, I know it's kind of a wasted spell slot, but we'll put Shield of Faith in there. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we'll put Shield of Faith in there because that could be useful for Valerie to just tank a lot of blows. So at least next time when we rest, I'm not going to forget to prepare it. That's why I'm doing that. Alright. Okay, just adjusting my headset there. Alright. So now we're back down into the caves here. And I think I'm going to go after these skeletons first because they seem like they could be leading us to a different route down here that we could maybe get to the kobolds with. So we can deal with these skeletons first and see what we can find on the other side here at this path. And we'll do the usual swapping out weapons here for this particular fight. So that way when we hit, we're going to do a reasonable amount of damage with blunt weapons. Let's switch you to that. Switch you to the quarterstaff. Get that going. And then Lindsay's got quite a few uses of Inspire Courage now, plus her new feature, or new feat that would allow her to get more mileage out of that. So we're going to probably do quite a bit of that. Alright, now let's see, we're going to go ahead and pop a lot of my cantrips here in preparation. Well, maybe not cantrips, maybe you might want to heal first here. Let's go and give a quick save. And then we're going to channel some positive energy here. I could do channel negative energy to try and kill the undead. But I think we want to at least channel one positive energy just to heal a little bit. 3 hit points isn't very much, but it'll probably have to do. So I can use that to try and damage the undead with a melee touch attack. Two hit points? Really? Only 2 hit points? Alright, so some of those healing rolls were kind of poor, but such is the way of life sometimes. Okay, well, let's now I think we're gonna go ahead and try and do a lot of these buffing things. Let's get you a couple of potions. Potion of Shield of Faith might be helpful for this battle. Scroll Shield of Faith might be better, since it's a bit more expensive to use a potion. Let's just go ahead and put a scroll over there too. Alright, time for all the pre-battle buffs here. Let's do this. Whoop, not the button I wanted. Alright, now let's get the guidance over here. Maybe in some ways this is a bit unnecessary, but when you encounter tough fights, it's better just to go ahead and go all out and put as many points as you can into trying to succeed at the fight. Alright, now I think is the point where we want to get Bless going now. Alright, now let's go ahead and give it a good old save game here. Let's get everyone to hold their position for now, and then we'll have Valerie kind of hold the line here. Okay, now we want to go ahead and cast Grease behind in a way that's not going to hit Valerie. But it's hard to see if it's going to hit her because of the archway that's in the foreground. So let's go ahead and get this right there, since these skeletons aren't the greatest at the dexterity, so... Alright, so they hit quite a few of them. Now it's time for you two to get in there. And we were able to take out the skeletal champion. Excellent. Most excellent. Alright. Now I think we just want to try not to... I think we want to get Alyrra out of there and then have her charge in again once some of these other skeletons get up, and then we'll just switch her to the bow for now and let the two shield users just continue to wail away at these guys. Hopefully I don't even need Shield of Faith for this battle. Alright, now let's go ahead and do a bit of Inspired Competence for a short bit. Help ourselves continue to hit these skeletons here. Man, Grease is putting in work. These skeletons have not gotten up for a very good period of time. A very lengthy period of time that they're just sitting there. Alright, let's get Harim out of there again. So that way they go after Valerie first. And you know what? We're just going to go after... Let's go after this skeleton first. Let's go ahead and get you going with the power attack and cleave action going once again. Skeleton's down. And then now I think it's a good time to just go ahead and smite evil on this one. So that way we'll only be left with one more skeletal champion here. Now's a good time to get them out of there, and once again we'll just have Alyrra go ahead and charge in this time once again. I just want to make sure that the skeleton goes after Valerie first instead of going after either Harim or Alyrra. So this is a good way of, while this other skeleton's prone and won't opportunity attack them, just get them out of there and then head back in again. There we go. Alyrra did quite a bit of damage, and so did Valerie, so we took that one out. And we've just got this last one to go. Let's have Harim go around this way and hopefully avoid the grease. He did not avoid it. And let's go and get Lindsay a bit more forward and get her to cast another bless. Oh, Harim, you just can't catch a break. So Miri got hit there, which is not good. We don't want you to keep raging and wasting that. Alright, so we were able to at the very least win that fight. Miri did go down, but thankfully not down so far to not be able to get back up, so. And we were able to win the fight that previously we had just failed at completely, so. Sadly, Grease has the side effect that until the spell wears off, we're just going to have a hard time getting through here. So let's just go ahead and loot these skeletons if we can. Come on. Come on, come on. There we go. Now let's get up and go through here. And it looks like we have some traps over here. Let's get Harim out of there, and let's get Lindsay out of there. Alright, so we won the fight. Let's go ahead and save the game. I will consider that a nice victory for us. And I forget exactly what loot that I got from them, but just, I think it was basically mundane gear. We got some shields, some swords and stuff. I was just trying to loot the gear so that way I could get out of the grease spell area, but yeah, it looks like we just, I think we mainly just got mundane gear, but extra money is extra money. Okay, so let's see what's here. The walls are traced with intricate flower patterns. It's hard to imagine how much time and effort it required. And so I realized that when I do descriptions for these things, I can also look down here with this description, or this log box down here, and that also has the text descriptions down there for myself to read, so I don't have to keep clicking on it. I do wish that I do wish that these clicking on these had the descriptions up there for longer, but you know, you can't win them all, I guess. I guess maybe they didn't want it to hang up there for too long in the foreground. For the developers, I mean. But, such is life sometimes. I guess it's just maybe some kind of trade-off that they just didn't want it to hang up there forever and they, when you click on the description there. Alright, very nice. It's nice when traps don't blow up in your face. And let's see what's over here with this statue. And Valerie says, "The past seems to haunt me. I didn't expect to see a shrine to Shellen in these dungeon depths." And as we learned earlier in our sort of role-playing session a little bit ago, Valerie has a bit of a history with Shellen and really doesn't like religion as an atheist and thinks that Shellen's teachings are useless babble, whatever you want to call it. And basically a bunch of nonsense, so that's what she's kind of referring to with the statue of Shellen here. And that's why she thinks that, oh, the past just seems to creep up on her and haunts her with the statue of Shellen. The statue is hewn from the rock, but with a hint of refinement. The inscription reads, "To our goddess Shellen, whose gifts we yearn for here in the darkness." So I guess long ago this must have been built beneath Old Sycamore here, some kind of religious shrine area. Oh, looks like we found a dog tag of long past. And here, Scroll of Protection from Evil. Now that's the ticket. That's going to be very, very useful. Granted, it only targets one creature, but that might be enough for some fights. And some other situational kinds of potions there we might use at some point. Yeah, and we didn't use these Scrolls of Shield of Faith in that previous fight, and we were able to get through it all right, so we were able to conserve some resources during that fight and not use everything that we thought that we would need to. Alright, now let's see what else awaits us. Maybe we'll find our way to the kobold area over here. Maybe these skeletons were kind of keeping the mites and kobolds from just passing through that area to each other because they're just too dangerous. And Scroll of Protection from Law, not likely to come up. We'll probably just sell that. But other loot, so more money is more money. And what's this lead to? More... I assume that that probably leads to an area that's more filled with kobolds, so we'll go there later. Oop. And we have some giant spiders over here. Alright, so it's time to go ahead and switch our weapons back. Let's get you going with your long sword, and then get you going with your bastard sword that you're more attuned to using. And then, because we don't want to get hit by poisonous spiders, we're just going to have Amiri and Harim hanging in the back here, plucking away with bows, while we have Valerie up there doing her thing. And let's go ahead and save the game before we get into another combat here. And let's do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on, Lindsay. Come on. There we go. Just want to make sure to give the buffs at the start of the fight there. Looks like that spider's a bit boxed in, so it's not going to be able to join the fight just yet. Okay, it's time for Harim to get in there if it's gonna just go back to the back lines. Okay. So Harim, you hold that one there. Thankfully, Harim and Valerie are good at the poison saves. Sadly, Harim's armor class is not near as good as what Valerie is able to do right now. Alright, well thankfully the spider venom poison or whatever was not able to get through our hardiness of our frontline fighters here, so that's the good thing about just having a super high constitution. Just being able to absorb blows and being able to resist poisons and such. Alright, let's get Lindsay over there to deal with some traps. Fails to disarm the trap. Alrighty then. Alright, she got it. It was a bit of a difficult trap to disarm, so that's very good news that we're able to take care of that. We'll go over there in a minute once we find out what's over here. More spiders. Basically kind of what I expected. We're just going to have Valerie just kind of hold it here and not let the spiders get through this tight little corridor area. Let's just not even let them get past. So now they don't even have an option to go to the back line, even if they wanted to. Looks like even this spider is stuck back there, so we're able to kind of deal with them a bit more one at a time in this scenario, which is obviously quite nice that they just can't aggro to the backliners and do that. You can make use of the narrow corridors. Looks like we have some lightning bugs, or fireflies, I guess is the more proper term. Some fireflies, there's some magic stuff going on over here. So I could try and just hightail it back over here to the choke point and then just have Valerie go back there. Because I don't really like it when they just kind of hightail it to our back line just to try and get to them. So we'll have Valerie just move this way. No, you all stay back. You are not qualified to just run up there. Sorry. Alright, so Valerie is just going to get an attack in there to activate the fighting defensively. Then she's going to head back over there. Everyone else, you hold your position here, please. Valerie can take a couple of opportunity attacks. It's not really of any consequence of her high AC here. And then she's going to just park it again at this choke point if possible. Alright, looks like it's time for Hareen to get back in there, I guess. You just stay there. Please, cover this choke point and don't let them get through. Please, don't let them get through. Oh, come on. Come on, stop. Jesus. Like, they always just like to go to the backliners because apparently one frontliner isn't enough to just keep them occupied here. They constantly tank the opportunity attacks, and there's not much we can do about it to stop them. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything like a Sentinel feat or something that's available in 5th edition D&D to punish enemies for trying to go back after your backliners, because we're forced to fight defensively, which affects our chance to hit and all these other different things, like using a tower shield. So it's a lot harder for Valerie to hit things to punish them for trying to run back here. Alright, so that fight didn't go quite as well as I had hoped, but hopefully it's not going to be too much of an issue going forward here. So hopefully in the future we'll have more resources to be able to mitigate that happening. And at some point I'm hoping that my character, Alyrra, will be able to AC tank as well and be in the front lines instead of in the back with a crossbow. So I think eventually, once we have 2 reliable tanks up front with Alyrra and Valerie, it'll be a bit easier to kind of clog choke points and make it really difficult for them to get in there. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a good number of them here. This might be a situation where I just need Harim to start fighting defensively here and covering the other area. You go a bit more forward and kind of get ahead of them here. Cut them off. So yeah, I'm just trying to cut them off to try and make sure that they're just unable to get through. You two are going to hold your position. Harim, you get back a little bit. I just want to hold them up enough to where it's not going to be an issue trying to worry about them getting to the back line there. Once we can get a tower shield for Harim, that'll improve his AC a little bit, since we have the tower shield proficiency for him now. Alright, another fight won, more experience gained. We're so closer to growing in experience and power level here, so we were at I think around 5,600 or somewhere close to that. I don't know, maybe 5,500 at the start of this episode, and so we have gained a decent amount of experience already. Oops. Let's get back. Get away! Get away! Alright, so I'm glad that we spotted that at the last second, and that my characters were able to get out of harm's way there. Because some traps can be particularly nasty. Okay, well this is going to be a big pain in the neck. Alright, so since this is going to hold us up as far as being able to do stuff, it might be better just to go ahead and usually I don't want to try and redo the trickery checks, but in this case it's probably better just to go ahead and give it another try, because trying to get through the webbing is just going to be a big pain in the butt time-wise, so it's probably better to just reload the save this one time. I don't usually want to do that for disarming traps, but in this case I might just have to. Simply just due to the convenience factor of it, as far as being able to move through. Like Grease, for example, you saw how much that held us up when we cast that spell before. And we were just constantly falling down, having to wait for the spell for us to be able to get through that. Okay. So, I mean, obviously we had a feeling that there might be more spiders in here. I don't really want to operate off of meta knowledge, so we'll just get through here, I guess. And we'll just go and give it a quick save here. And so we know that there's a spider up there. Alright, so there's a nice big one. So now that we know that it's there, we're gonna go back over here, I guess. Get into our formation and do a couple of spells before we get going here. Maybe resistance might actually be pretty good here for constitution saves against these spiders. I think Harim and Valerie are the only ones that might need resistance, because they're the only ones that would be up front fighting them. Come on, come on. There we go. And then is there anything that we want to cast? I think this would be a good time to go ahead and cast Bless pre-combat. Alright. Let's have all of you hold position. Harim, we'll just have you with the bow. Oh, no, I don't want to camp. Let's just hold position. Nope, nope. No camping. We are not going to camp. Alright, let's quick save it. And let's start the battle with this big spider that we saw over here. And hopefully we can try and hold a choke point over here. No, not there. Getting into formation over there is looking kind of difficult for some reason. But let's see if we can get the choke point held over here. And now, let's go ahead and do this. Now, thankfully, I'm not having to worry about the choke point. I think that she succeeded on her fortitude save. Yep, she did. She has so many good positive modifiers there that, thankfully, I don't think she's going to be failing any saves against poison anytime soon. Maybe against the spider, the DC will be high enough where she could fail it. But for now, thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. Let's do some more Inspired Courage. And Valerie. Valerie, you're just gonna hold it there. Let the spider come to you. Okay, so she's down. We need to get her back up immediately. So we need to channel positive energy here. Let's get her back up immediately. Reem, you're gonna have to switch to sword and board here. Mary, you get out of there. Lindsay, you get out of there. And Valerie, you get over there. Ouch, that hurts a lot. -4 dexterity. Jeez. What was the DC on that? Oh, Hareen just rolled super poorly. Oh, looks like Hareem's having to go through more fortitude saves or something. Alrighty then. Let's continue with the inspiring. Oh, come on. Oh. We really need to be able to keep the spider off of our backliners here. We can't really afford the... Now Valerie can't get through. Okay. Let's just try and stop the bleeding here. See if we can... Okay, well... I think we're going to have to give this another try, because I don't think we're going to be able to kill it now. Our guys are just going to be getting smacked for all this poison damage. Yeah, we're going to have to give this another whirl, because Valerie is really integral to us being able to win these early fights, and if she goes down, it's just very, very difficult. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a quick load here, and let's give that another whirl. I was thinking about checking through the combat log to see how the spider was able to hit Valerie, or what its modifiers were, because it's pretty difficult to hit her at her AC. Let's try a different formation here with you guys. No, jeez. Hold position. We need to really find a way to hold this choke point here. So that way it's going to be much more difficult for them to get through. We really need a choke point. Okay, let's take care of these guys first. Molest is still going to be going for a little while here. Maybe move over here a bit. We just want to get somewhere close enough in the middle where this big spider isn't going to be able to get through to people in the back. But that's not happening, I guess, so... Okay. Alright, we really need for you two to not die. Or go down. guys over there. And there goes his dex like a sack of potatoes. Alright, well at least we got it into... Alright, so we got the spider into a spot to where it was having a hard time maneuvering around Valerie to get around her, so that kind of saved us a little bit there. So yeah, now Harim has dexterity damage, which is more substantial because as a frontline tank you kind of need a little bit of dexterity, so that way your armor class isn't too heavily affected, even though he is wearing heavier type armor. You still get a AC penalty if you have lower dexterity, so we really have to hope that that doesn't come back to bite us, but Harim's dexterity already wasn't all that great, so that's kind of why it's a bit more of an issue. But we were able to take care of this big hunting spider. Unfortunately, the nature check failed, so we didn't really get much information out of the big spider, but you know what? All is still well in the world. I think that we're still going to be able to make something out of what's going on over here. So we found some corpses with some loot here. I guess these things are just selling value, I guess. Ooh. An empty sheath. Interesting. Restavik, so... You know, we're finding lots of Restavik or Restov-based antiquities in the Stolen Lands so far. And a Wand of True Strike and Cloak, or probably a Cloak of Protection, I think. Cloak of Resistance. Alright, so that's what it was. So a +1 bonus on saving throws. Will be helpful for Harim here. It'll probably be very useful to have on Alyrra once we end up getting to the point where they're going to be in the front line with their AC tank and their highest saving throws as a Paladin. And then so we got a Wand of True Strike that might occasionally be something that's interesting, but the only one that can really use it is Lindsay to any real effectiveness. He's only able to use it because it's a domain spell, so clerics don't normally get to use it, I think. And so unless you have used magic item, I think you're having a hard time using something that's not on your spell list. But Lindsay's not going to be like a sharpshooting type character, so I don't think that she's going to really use that wand. Okay, so we found some loot over here. I don't know if there's anything else. There's a ladder down there, but I don't know if that actually goes anywhere. There's something glowing down there, but I don't know what. Got pink and greenish type light down there. Or, not pink, purple. Purple and I guess turquoise type light going on down there. Wonder what else is over here if we just encountered big spiders. Guess we'll just encounter more big spiders. Let's get back here into formation. Let's have Valerie up here. hold the choke point. Let's have Harim get his bow out. And Valerie, you can just kind of hold the line here for a bit. And you know what? We're just going to have you do the hold command, so after the spider dies, you're just going to hold it there for a while. Yep, so it's nice when they just can't run and beeline it back to them when they're shooting with their bows, so that's why I'm constantly trying to use the terrain as much as possible with low-level tabletop characters. Or any RPG that's based on a tabletop system, usually at the lower levels, it is exceedingly kind of difficult in some cases to win some of these combat encounters. Usually if it's an action RPG like Diablo, for example, or notably Diablo 2, lower levels are actually the easiest. But in anything that's based off of a tabletop system, the lower levels are easily the most difficult as far as combat goes, just because you just can't do a whole lot, and you can't take too many hits, and enemies, when they hit you, it takes away quite a bit of your health. Alright, so we have a miner's lever here, so I guess that's probably some kind of quest or area type item here. Zamar, Casimir, Apara. Fastened to the chests are metal plaques, etched with the names of Taldor's cities. So I don't know if this is like treasure of some kind, or things that used to be treasure chests that were looted at some point by maybe the mites or the kobolds. Alright, so we got some more potions and a scroll of Scorching Ray. Looks like an offensive spell that might come in handy at some point if we find someone that can take advantage of that. The remains of a miner's camp, deserted centuries ago. I guess I don't know what this area is. I'll go ahead and save my game before going down here. At some point we'll go through that little area right there. Oops. No, I don't. I just want to move back here to see if I can see anything with perception checks. But I guess not. So let's not fool around with that. So I guess maybe that's just a way to maybe bypass the spiders that we fought. Or I guess we can go down but not up, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe we can't go back up there until we go all the way around, and this is just a quicker way to get back down to this area that we went through before. Because we had to go the long way around, kill the skeletons, then go through a bunch of spiders. Giant spider over there, then come back through this way. So I guess it's just a convenience kind of quick travel to get down there, so you don't have to go all the way back through the old passage that you just came. And so we have either this place over here that we can go to, or here. I think I'm just going to go over here because it's closer. Don't know if there's going to be any major ramifications for choosing one over the other. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I'm assuming that either of these areas that we can go to are going to lead us somewhere to the kobold side of the Old Sycamore, the kobold encampment, or whatever you would call it. So I guess we're going to be forced to fight some kobolds here because we didn't side with them, so we're just going to have to deal with fighting them, I guess, for now. There we go, got that going. Now we just want to take out this alchemist as soon as possible because they are probably the biggest offensive threat. Okay, Harim, you gotta get up there now and start doing your thing with your sword and board. We just want to stop them in their tracks so they don't keep going back there. Thankfully, Harim doesn't get downed yet. And thankfully, that kobold sentinel got punished for trying to go back here to fight the other guys, so... So I imagine that there would be things to do and talk about and things like that if you went over and sided with the kobolds. I guess the alchemist would have used some other potions had we not killed them soon enough. Okay. So I think it's time for a bit of healing now. Alright, 5 hit points. Two measly hit points. Okay. Well. One hit point. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and save the game here. Yep, so we are on the other side where the kobolds are. Looks like we have some more spider action going on over here. Don't think we're going to need Inspire Courage for this one. Looks like they're not able to get through this corridor here for some reason, so it's good for us. Usually when they're shifting around like that, I think it's because their AI is trying to target a different character. But they weren't able to get through there, thankfully, so good for us. More loot, trinkets, treasure. Alright, looks like our arch nemesis is there again. More giant spiders. And I guess it looks like there's some kobolds over there as well, waiting for us. Don't know how we're able to see them yet, but... Alright, Harim, you're up to bat. Now that they're trying to come back to us. Alright, once again, Valerie is quite good at the fortitude saves, so thankfully you don't have to worry too much about that. We're just going to have Harim park it. No, I didn't want you to do that. No, not you. Jeez. Had the wrong character selected when I tried doing the hold position and moving people around. I just want Harim to park it and he'll attack if the spider tries to disengage from Valerie here. Just want to keep Harim ready just in case the spider did that. Okay, looks like we have another trap over here. Do the quick save action and see what we find over here. Alright, we find a disarmed trap thanks to Lindsay. She's easily, well, she's obviously the only one that has any skill points in trickery, so obviously she's the only one that can do it. Alyrra might be able to do it decently well if you wanted to put any skill points into it, but I think that persuasion is more important with the main characters, so... Plus persuasion is usually the thing that comes up the most, is with the main character anyway, so no real reason to go anything other than that. I suppose if I were a class, or if my intelligence weren't so low, and if I were a different class where I got more skill points, then maybe I might be able to put skill points into something else, like stealth or athletics or perception or whatever the case might be. Alright, looks like the spiders are mainly coming in threes, and I don't know why they didn't trigger the trap there, but I guess the traps don't always apply to the enemies the way that they apply to you. Alright. And it looks... Yeah, it looks like we have kobolds over here that are making lots of noises. All go. All fail. Sorrow. Sorrow. Break. Now all break. Something. So there's some kobolds over here talking about something that we're not privy to, but we can kind of hear them from over here. And they don't look like they're red or hostile, so you won't have to automatically fight them, I don't think, when we go over here. Looks like the bluish transparency is getting kind of pixelated there for some reason. Alright, so let's quick save it, because I don't know if we're going to be able to disarm this trap without triggering some kind of dialogue first. I keep on clicking on that part of the portrait and it keeps on taking me to the inventory screen because this dumb encumbrance button there, like, yeah, I know I'm encumbered. You don't need to take me to the inventory screen to know that. I think the encumbrance icon being a bit smaller and then not taking you directly to your inventory would be much preferable. If I want to go to my inventory screen, I can usually just use the I hotkey, which is very common in RPGs, so... Alright, well at least we took care of the trap here. Let's go ahead and... I mean, I guess we can go ahead and cast guidance on Alyrra in case we need any persuasion. Because guidance would, I believe, help on a persuasion check if you're in dialogue. Okay then, well it looks like we have to worry about disarming yet another trap first. And no, I don't want to go to the inventory screen. Alright, let's do this song and dance one more time with the traps that have been laid. And once again, we are successful, which is nice. Now let's quick save it, and hopefully we can finally talk to these kobolds if whatever is bothering them. So what's going on here? So it looks like there's one archer over here. I don't know if there's anything else going on over here. Okay, so it looks like we have another one of these book story type events. Our journey into the mysterious dungeon brought us by twists and turns to an old mine. A huge hatch in the floor blocked our way. Its panels were half open and squeaked angrily, threatening to plunge careless adventurers into the abyss below. It stretched from wall to wall, making it impossible to simply walk around this deadly trap. Break, all break bad. We turned around and saw a kobold sitting on the ground beside a broken lever. The kobold was holding his head in his hands, but sensing us, he jumped up. "Stop! You go! You fall! I'll go! I'll fall! Sorrow! Sorrow!" He grew woeful, and lamenting he skittered down one of the passages. Then we... Alright, so let's try and jam the doors to break the trap with Lindsay. And she succeeded. Using equal parts wisdom and dexterity, we jammed the ominous hatch. Now we could proceed without fear. Thus the darkness of the yawning abyss was roundly defeated. Excellent. So we didn't do any dialogue there with the kobold, but at least the kobold wasn't out to murder us, so that's one thing. And we got a little bit of experience points out of that, so it's always nice to be able to see. So I wonder what is over here. What? Okay. Alright, so there's lots of traps over here. I'm gonna have to go ahead and reload here. Yeah, it doesn't tell you if you failed at a perception check, obviously, but apparently none of our characters were able to spot the traps here. But we'll reload it and see if maybe putting people that are higher in perception in the front will help us yield better results there. Valerie isn't the best at perception right now because we're mainly putting points into mobility early on to be able to fight defensively. Right now I think that Tareem and Amiri are our best at perception. Maybe Lindsay too. Let's have them go up here first. And you know what? We can cast guidance to help out with perception checks as well. So let's do a quick save. Maybe guidance will be enough for us to be able to spot some traps over here. There we go. We just needed the right people in front. So that way we could actually spot the traps first. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take care of this. Alright, she failed that first try, but thankfully she didn't set it off. And she failed once more. Alright, we got it. Alright, trap number 1 dealt with. There was another one that we're going to have to deal with here. Alright, yet another trap. Alright, Lindsay, see if you can do it a second time here. Take care of this one. And she does it. That is most excellent. Some more guidance action going on these guys, just to make it easier to spot the traps that might lie in wait for us. Well, that didn't go very well. Thankfully that was only 3 damage. Let's get a little bit ready for combat here, because we'll probably need it. Alright, you get up there. And we shall go ahead and quick save it once more. Hopefully there are not more traps lying in wait for us over here. There are, unfortunately. So I don't know if we're going to be able to disarm this trap before we... see if Lindsay can disarm it before we get into combat. No, she wasn't able to. Okay, well, we have a flame shaman over there, so we need to back up here, I think, and kind of get the flame shaman to come closer to this cavern area. If we can get grease to land, this would be very helpful to getting them to go prone. Should help to stop them a good deal. Them back a little bit. I guess grease isn't doing quite enough on the flame shaman there. Alright, so we were able to get the flame shaman out of the way. Maybe this might be an opportunity where we just need a Miri to go in there and start cleaving them to death. Alright, well, at the very least we were able to win that combat. It wasn't pretty, but we did win. And Valerie had a lot of her hit points taken out by the fact that the shaman was throwing around magic missile to get past her high AC. Shield is a pretty good spell. So yeah, if we get someone who can use that, that'll be a very helpful spell to have around. And yep, there's the effects of grease going at it again. I don't know if there's going to be any more kobolds that we have to deal with or not. These wooden structures are a few centuries old, some even older, but they've withstood the ravages of time. I figure I'll just explore around here while we're waiting for Harim to get back up from that grease spell. Unfortunately, he's one of our best people as far as perception goes, so getting perception checks are easier when he's able to join us. Looks like we found something down here. And let's see, I think this is to the... yeah, to the surface. That's the entrance for the kobold area is over here. So we would have had to come in here and fight a kobold flame shaman and some other kobolds if we went through this way. There we are with the reflex saves again. Okay, well, let's go around. Let's go around. Just do it one at a time here. Alright, well now the spell is over, so we don't have to worry about it at least. So it looks like there's nowhere else to go other than trying to go deeper into the kobold area here. Maybe we'll find their encampment and where they are holed up at. Found another ancient coin over here. Very nice. The trolleys were left here by human miners long ago. The kobolds somehow managed to repair them. Well, sometimes I wonder about their ability to deal with things that probably require a bit more critical thinking and improvisation. I mean, I'm sure that they can be resourceful in some areas, but repairing stuff is no easy task, so I'll just say that. But apparently they were able to do it, so they probably have some skilled blacksmiths or craftsmen or people like that that can repair stuff. More spiders. Okay, well, at least we have what seems to be a pretty reliable choke point over here. We can just get Valerie in the front and leave everyone else back there. All of you hold your position there. We'll just have to hope that Valerie doesn't get hit, since we're kind of low on healing. So as long as she is fighting defensively, it should be fairly difficult for them to be able to hit her. Okay, well, apparently it wasn't good enough of a choke point and it went right by her. Or I guess she got hit and okay, well, I'll have to go back up here and see where Valerie got hit. Of course, a natural 20, which is the only way to be able to hit her, so. But when enemies get enough attacks in, they're bound to eventually get a natural 20, so I mean, it's going to happen occasionally when we're running around with low health, and trying not to just rest spam because we have a limited amount of time to be able to take care of our, quest involving Tortuk, who we're going after right now, and then later we're going to have to still deal with the Stag Lord and his banditry. So since we can't take forever with that, we can't just rest spam like you could in maybe some other games out there. Alright, yet again we have more traps going on here. Alright, let's save the game once more. And let's have Valerie get in there. Alright, so we seem to be doing pretty well in this battle. Inspire Courage certainly does have a way of helping with that. Very useful ability, and it's nice having feats that allow you to get a lot of mileage out of it. Alright, once again it's time for Lindsay to deal with the traps. Man, but there are a lot of spiders down here. I wonder how they haven't just murdered all the kobolds and mites yet. They could probably do pretty well against them. Probably could do pretty well. I don't know, maybe the kobolds and mites just find ways to sneak around them and get around them without fighting them. Maybe they just, I don't know, have their ways around them. Like, we know that one of the mites heroically rode a spider mount in the battle, and we had to find the spider mandibles for the gatekeeper earlier. So I don't know, maybe they just find ways of dealing with spiders that don't involve fighting them. Kind of similar to all the centipedes that we found. They just find a way to coexist and find ways around dealing with them. Not sure where this leads to. So that goes further into Old Sycamore. So let's get everyone away from the traps. Get Lindsay up there. Get some more guidance action going on. I could use Inspired Competence to increase skill checks for things like disarming traps, but so unfortunately she failed on her trickery check that time, but at least this one doesn't deal damage directly. Let's just find out what this thing does. So that's the mining lever that opens up, I guess, this little area right there, maybe. Yeah. So now the area between the mites and the kobolds and the bridge is now opened up. And that's with the mining lever that we found earlier. Have to wait for this webbing to go away, or I could try just forcing myself through it. Apparently forcing myself to go through there isn't working out so well. Maybe Alyrra will have more success being a paladin with her high saving throws. Is there anything over there? Well, if it requires a perception check, I might have to just wait until the webbing is done with. Indeed, there is something over here. We found found another dog tag up there. Alright, now that I think that we've done as much perception up here as we can, don't know if Harim is going to find anything that we didn't. Let's check the map while we're waiting. So I guess there's maybe some area up there that we haven't gone to yet. So we can check out what's going on over in those areas before going to the further into the depths. Not that way, we want to go this way. So let's see if we find anything over here. You know, some more centipedes. Shouldn't be too difficult. These are probably the easiest enemies that we have here. Let's just switch you to a sword. Harim, you get in there too. Why not? Alright. Well, now that they're dealt with, let's switch out back to the original stuff that we like using. I guess they must have gotten another natural 20 on Valerie here. Yep, that's pretty much the only way for them to hit Valerie, so kind of assume that must have been it. Sadly, she's on so few hit points that a single hit will probably take her down. Guess it might be a good time to maybe just go with some healing here. For one measly hit point. Thanks a lot, Harim. See if we can get a bit more healing with this. Not very much. We really need to get Valerie some hit points here, so let's just do this. 10 hit points is a lot better. Don't know if there's any more perception checks to be made, so we'll just explore around the edges just a bit more. So I think if you start off on the kobold side of things, it just lets you see across the chasm there. I guess as a sort of scripted element there. There probably is a way to get down there. Maybe we might just have to go deeper into Old Sycamore and find a way to get down into that area. Never thought these burrows have chasms like that, Mary says as at the start of the scripted event there. Yeah, I think I prefer, at least for a Let's Play format, to turn off some of the voices for, you know, combat selection sounds and stuff. If only just because I don't want them to conflict with my voice and the voices of you know, the selection sounds and things like that in combat can become, you know, they can be quite often and so you can still hear them, like their voices for different conversations and things like that. I could turn it back on, but for now I might leave it off. I could turn it back on here, but even on the even on seldom, or just occasionally, even on occasionally, they'll still have quite a few selection sounds. But I'll just try occasionally, and maybe I'll just be able to adapt to that for the rest of the playthrough. If anyone has an issue with it, you can feel free to comment in the comments section to let me know if what the frequency of voice responses you'd rather prefer. If it conflicts with my voice, then you can just let me know. So we have another Kobold Alchemist that we're going to need to take care of immediately here. Come on, Lizzie.
Repent!
So it looks like we have a shaman over there that's trying to cause issues. Unfortunately, Valerie did not roll well enough, and I guess wasn't close enough to our Paladin to be able to get the saving throw benefit there. Let's all try and get in there as much as we can on the shaman. Thankfully, with our Paladin, we're going to be pretty good with the aura of courage against these fear saves.
Let us strike as one!
Come on now, you shouldn't be frightened anymore. Let's get in there.
Could be worse, and will be. Definitely will be.
Let's have you lay on hands on Amiri here to get her back up.
Nothing new out of our story.
Strike as one!
Lost.
Might be a time to have Amiri get in there, since Valerie's just kind of getting scared all of a sudden, so Amiri might need to be the one to get in there.
This won't kill me!
But it looks like Valerie just got hit by a critical hit, so that took her down and out. But thankfully we still ended up winning the fight, even though it was a bit more difficult than it had to be. Ray of Sickening. Okay. Don't know if that's a spell we're going to use or not, but... well, even if we're getting loot that's not too valuable, we are getting gold pieces from plenty of kobolds, so... paintings made with soot. It seems like they're supposed to portray dragons, but most just look like cows with wings. I guess their artistic skill is a bit lacking. I guess we're gonna have to ask Lindsay if there's any people that have more artistic ability that could lend them a hand. Kobolds seem to be good at curing hides and decorating their caves with them. So we have another flame shaman over there. I wonder if do we have any spells or abilities that would be useful. You know what? Amiri getting in there might actually be helpful along with Harim.
Oh, sorry, was lost in thought.
I guess maybe we can also turn up the voice volume ever so slightly for the scripted conversations that we have, or for any of the dialogues that we have that are voiced. Alright. So do we want to use Bless or not? I mean, remove fear could be useful here just to prevent fear effects, so let's just go with that.
Grotus awaits us.
And Bless, or let's do Guidance first.
Just letting the ink dry.
And Resistance would probably be good too for this fight. And then you are going to cast Bless. So there's a bone shaman somewhere. So there's one down there, I guess. There's another one over to the north here. I guess we haven't triggered them yet. So... But we definitely want to charge into that one if we can. We have to go around this way. So we definitely want to get rid of the shaman as soon as we can. Alright, so she was able to take out the shaman. There's an alchemist over there. That's not going to be good, but hopefully we can get Miri in here.
Lie down for a moment. Lost.
Get Miri going, get her attacking. We'll deal with the attack of opportunity. Oh, no, I want you to get in. Get in once more, charge into the fray. Guess we have to. Lindsay is probably the best bet to just drag their attention away. So we definitely want to make sure that we don't want them to get caught up in this flame breath or whatever it is right here. Let's charge into the sentinel. We do not have any more healing except for potions, so we're not going to be able to get Harim back up during this fight. Okay, well that helped.
Serves you right.
And then we're going to have you charge in again when you get the chance. And you are going to inspire courage.
I can't keep this up much longer.
Alright, well, we hit the alchemists pretty hard. Hopefully we take them down really soon. Mary hit them hard. Now Valerie's down. Okay. So now it's up to Lindsay and Alyrra here. So now we're going to have to try and pull out whatever stops that we have. So their archer against our archers. Usually I'd figure that their archer would win, but I guess Inspire Courage does do a good bit of help there to help hit them. See, when Lindsay gets the 5th level bard, it'll give another +1, so that's quite nice there. What isn't nice is that we're low on hit points once again. So let's save our game, and then hopefully we don't have too many more fights to worry about. We've gotten quite a few fights in this episode, trying to explore the rest of Old Sycamore here. We might be able to use some healing potions here. Maybe we found enough to where we can just afford to. Looks like most of the potions that we found have been secondary potions. I guess we have some scrolls of healing that we could use instead. Might be better than healing potions. Alright, 6 hit points isn't too bad. Please stop taking me to the inventory screen. I beg you. Don't know if there's a way to remove this little encumbrance button automatically taking you to the inventory. It would be nice, but I don't know if such a thing exists. Are there any wands that I want to use? So yeah, that's only for melee, so if someone like Alyrra could cast that would be great. So yeah, most of these I don't think that we're really going to be using. Protection from evil could be quite useful. Just going to put that over there because we might end up using that for a particular fight, maybe. Communal would affect everyone, but we'd probably want to target Valerie for now, just with the single scroll here. The communal one will obviously be more valuable later on, when everyone would probably need it a bit more. Okay. Well, now that we've dealt with all that, let's save our game once more with a quick save. See what else is lying in here. I know there's a kobold bone shaman or whatever to the north, or flame shaman or whatever. So we might have more to fight. Remove fear is still going, but I guess if you get knocked unconscious or get downed, maybe remove fear stops being active for you, so that kind of sucks. The kobolds have turned the skull of a dragon-like creature into an object of worship. Okay. Well, we did come across something else that looks similar to that earlier in a previous episode when going through Old Sycamore, so not too surprising. Looks like we have a flame shaman barking out orders over there.
The end draws near.
So let's go ahead and prepare a bit, since we might need some of these things going once again. Since saving throws are a bit common against these flame shamans and alchemists.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Mainly though, I just like having these selection sounds more for in-combat type stuff, like the voice prompts and things like that, and less so for selecting them.
Patience.
Let's get some temporary hit points going for them. Come on. Alright, let's see if we can deal with this flame shaman up here. Two flame shamans. Okay. We have magic missile and some kind of, I guess this might be scorching ray.
Your life ebbs low.
Alright, we want Amiri to go ahead and charge in. Want you to inspire courage, hopefully, so we can make our attacks here. Come on. Please, pretty please. Well, at least we were able to, I think, take out that shaman. Now we need to go for the other one right away. Okay, so it looks like the kobolds are trying to come back after us now. Lindsay, you might have to go up there and hold them off for me, if possible.
Any last wishes? This is where I step in.
Okay, so that did not go very well. Yep, obviously this is not going so well.
What? A miserable
I shall
last chapter.
Alright, so we're gonna have to reload it here. So yeah, that battle did not go so well. We were kind of getting hammered in there pretty good. By a bunch of kobolds, no less, but they have some spellcasters with lots of fresh resources, and we don't. We don't really have too many offensive spells and magic to be able to use just yet. Alright, just getting a bit of orange juice in my system. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go ahead and prepare a bit more? So yeah, maybe some Shield of Faith action might be good for Valerie.
I will see this through.
Are there any scrolls and stuff that we want to give to Lindsay here? I guess another cure spell wouldn't hurt. I guess ear-piercing scream might be useful, I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't want to use a spell slot on it, but if I have a wand, then maybe I might just use that if I need to, for anything. Caster level is only 1, so it's not going to be that powerful, but might be better than nothing. Alright. Alright, so we got Shield of Faith going on her, on Valerie. Do I really have to go to the inventory screen just to do that? Could also do Scroll Summon Monster to just try and get some extra sort of distractions in there to try and get them, keep them away from the backliners. Maybe I can put a Miri over here so that way they have a more straight line path to what's going on with Valerie triggering the enemies to come after her, basically. No, I don't need to do that.
I am yours to command.
Alright, let's do a quick save again. I'm fine with using a Scroll of Shield of Faith for this battle if it helps Valerie come through here. We might want to switch Harem to a bow. If only for the fact that it's going to be difficult for him to close in.
Anything is possible.
Alright, do a save. Now that we've got our Inspired Courage going.
I'm listening.
Let's have you charge in there. Try and get the other Flame Shaman.
Avenge me.
Sadly, Valerie just went down like a sack of bricks. Sadly, it's because the Scorching Ray managed to hit somehow. I guess maybe it was like touch AC. So even with all of that, it still managed to hit her, which sucks. Okay. Alright, Harem is back to the sword and board because we just got kind of unlucky there with the Scorching Ray, which just rolled tremendously well.
Lost.
Yep, so we're going to have to go and give this another try. We're not going to be able to win. Yeah, if Scorching Ray missed there, then I think that we have that fight in the bag, but it just kind of hinges on Valerie not getting hit. We don't really have a whole lot of methods of being able to heal her, so... Let's go ahead and try this again, one more time. Hopefully this time it'll work the way that I hope it does. And let's get you in there and get charging at the Shaman. And once again, the Flame Shaman rolls really high for the attack roll and gets Valerie, so I don't think we're going to be able to win this one, but we'll see.
This won't
Put her in
kill
a
me.
minus 21 hit points. Alright, so we were able to win this one after all. So I'm feeling a bit better about that. Sometimes you just have to let it play out and maybe things will work out for the best. But yeah, it's just kind of disappointing that I used Shield of Faith there with the expectation that maybe that might cause them to just kind of miss Valerie a whole bunch, and then it didn't really pan out that way, unfortunately. A Scroll of Vanish, not bad. And then what's over here? Just some more mushrooms for cooking. Yep, those are the hides. I guess over here they were doing digging of some sort, I guess. I'm not quite sure. Alright, so I guess we've explored all that we can in that area. So, yeah, we might be closing in on the end of the episode here because we've explored quite a bit. I don't know if there's any more to explore in this area. We still haven't found whatever relic it is that the mites and the kobolds are looking for. That we bet that Tartuk, the shaman rival evil person that we've been following along here for a bit, likely has in their possession. We still haven't found any of the relics or things that we could use to get passage into the sacred chamber or whatever it was. So yeah, there was an area over here to the old Sycamore Depths. We can go that way. Or we can go that way. Either one is fine. Not really too choosy. Okay, so let's go in here, and then I think once we go in here, it'll probably be the end of the episode, and I'll give the recording a stop, give my computer a rest, and maybe continue on and start recording again today. Of course, by the time that people end up watching this episode, again, it might be Thanksgiving tomorrow, but again, hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and hope you've all enjoyed watching this episode, as I've have as much fun watching the episode as I have making the episodes. Alright, so this is just the area, depths area once again, that we've already been to. So we have the skeletons up there that we haven't fought yet, which, I don't know, maybe that has something up there of relevance. No, we can always go ahead and check up there and have that cap off the episode. Then again, we are pretty low on health and everything, so I don't know if we can really do that. Yeah, I mean, we could go outside, or we could go talk to the Mite Queen again, maybe. See if they have anything to say. If we've, I was like, I don't think that we've gotten anything that can be used to talk to the Queen. We haven't found the relic yet. We haven't found Tartuk yet. We haven't found signs of anything yet. So let's go over here. Let's talk to the Mite Queen. See if we can get anything, information maybe. I think we've explored everywhere that we can. I don't know, I might have missed something and I'm just not realizing it, but I think this is where the Mite Queen is at. Don't know if we need to go down a particular depths area to try and go to a certain spot. So I might need to test out some of those things off screen maybe to find out where we need to go. Alright, so there's the warrior queen of the mites. Let's do another quick save here real quick. Talk to her and see if she has anything to say. Okay, so we still haven't done what we need to do, I think, to be able to get through here. I don't think we have anything in our inventory that resembles a relic. Okay, it looks like the game was slowing down there for a second, and then it's going back up to speed, so I might need to end the recording here. Well, anyway, I thank all of you for watching, and again, I appreciate you bearing with me through long episodes. It's just my Let's Playing style. I don't want to stop, you know, when it's not really a good stopping point, and usually similar to tabletop sessions, you don't want to stop until it seems like a good moment to stop, so... And so my sessions, my Let's Playing sessions take a bit longer, but with less breaks means more content for you with each video upload. So anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a very great Thanksgiving and that you all have a great sort of holiday weekend to go with that. And hope that you all take good care of yourselves and stay safe, especially if you're traveling for the holidays. So I hope you all join me next time for my next episode. And I hope you all take good care.